Dearborn, and you are here with me on Bon Appetit. Let's eat. Doesn't look like I'm concentrating. See, I forgot something, but that's okay. I am the author of Green is for Life, a simple guide to creating healthy, life-giving smoothies. Well, today, what I actually want to talk to you about is coconut milk. Now, on one of my previous videos, you've actually seen me crack the coconut, take the meat out, grate the meat or put the meat in the blender with water to make coconut milk. Well, I know a lot of people, they're having much difficulty getting the coconut meat out of the shell. So what I've decided to do is to show you two other methods that you can use to get your very own fresh, nutritious and delicious coconut milk. So here goes. You can use dried coconut. Now, dried unsweetened coconut. So what you're looking for is a coconut that hasn't been tampered with, that they haven't done anything other than grated this and put it into this so that you can use it to make milk. If you notice, I had two coconuts here. I had two types of coconut. One of them is unsweetened coconut. That's all it is. Shredded unsweetened coconut, which is the red mill, the Bob's Red Mill. The other brand, if you will notice, if you will notice, it says 40% less fat. Now, if you were looking for a no fat, low fat option for your shredded coconut, that's fine. But to actually make your coconut milk from this won't work so well. And you also have to recognize that it's been tampered with. And I say tampered with. You also have to recognize that it has in some shape or form been defatted. And so what you are looking for is full-bodied cream coconut. Right, so that being said, the first thing that we're going to do is you're going to need a couple of cups of coconut, and I believe this is in chapter 9, and we're not going to be using this. We're not going to be using this one. All right, we're just going to be using the regular old. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to put in 2 cups of shredded, just pure shredded coconut. 2 cups. All right, that was a little over. And to that, we are actually going to add, I'm going to add 3 cups of boiling water. Now, in my recipe book, I think it's on page 70, in the recipe section in my book, on page 74 or 75, it says 4 cups of water. So you know what? I'm going to add 4 cups of water because that's what I said. But if you want it to be thicker, if you want it to be creamier, you just add less water. So we're going to add that, and then we're going to blend. And it's really important to remember that this is hot. If you start the blend process, and cover him up. Okay, when you go to blend, I am truly going to suggest that you take a tea towel and place over the top because of the steam. You're using hot water and steam just as a safeguard. Okay guys, so we're going to blend that up quite nicely. It's really nice, smooth and creamy. As you can see, it's nice and smooth and creamy, or you will do here shortly. And now this has to rest for about 10 minutes, and you have to bear in mind that this is actually very, very warm. So we're going to set that aside and allow it to rest for 10 minutes. And then in the interim, I'm going to show you another method of making coconut milk if you don't have a blender. So what you're going to need is a pot, and I'm only going to make a small batch. You would use the same measurements, totally the same measurements. 2 cups of your shredded coconut, to 4 cups of water. And as I'm only using 1 cup of shredded coconut for this demonstration, we're going to put that in here. And actually we're going to bring it to a boil. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to bring that to a boil. Give it a little stir. And this is how you'll make your coconut milk if you do not have a blender. Literally 2 cups of shredded coconut to 4 cups of water in a saucepan, and you bring it to a boil. You let it boil, then you let it simmer. I let mine simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you turn the fire off, and then you allow it to sit and cool for approximately 3 to 4 hours. See, it started to boil already. For about 3 to 4 hours. Now, one of the things again that I would like to mention to you guys is that in order to use this method, the method with the pot, it is imperative that you use shredded coconut that hasn't had any fat removed. Otherwise, it's not going to work. We're back, and now I'm going to show you how to actually make your milk, how to actually milk the coconut shreds. Now, I had set some to boil earlier with the boil method if you don't have a blender. And what you do is you just pour it into, some people use a colander with a cheesecloth, and this has been sitting for a couple of hours. It needs to sit for about 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours. And some people use a colander and a sieve, or excuse me, colander and cheesecloth. I use a sieve, and as you can see, you just gather it all together and literally you squeeze. Literally you squeeze. And again, it's very important to use coconut that hasn't had the fat removed, because not only to me, if you use the reduced fat coconut for milk, what the milk tastes like to me is like it's been in some way sulfonated. But that's my personal opinion. What I do know is that you don't get a nice full-bodied milk. So anyway, you squeeze, 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 and basically you have a presto milk. And then we're going to talk about what you'll do with the rest of it in a moment. So let me put that into a bottle so you can see. Actually, pour it into a glass so you can see. Okay, you have coconut milk. Okay guys, coconut milk. There you go. Oops, there you go. Shredded coconut that's full fat. We're going to use a nut milk bag. And guys, for you who have seen me make milk before, this is a nut milk bag, and the nut milk bag is used to strain whatever milks you're making. So I'm going to pour it in, and it's made of nylon, and you can, as you just saw me do, use a cheesecloth, just as effective. You can use a tea cloth, a kitchen towel. See, I don't want to leave any behind. Don't leave any behind. Okay guys, alright, so that's that. Just rinse my hands off here real quick. And we start the milking process. And again, it's important to allow this to cool down so you can work with it. Actually, it's still pretty warm. And you just squeeze. You just squeeze. And squeeze. Squeeze. And as you get to the end, when you're not able to squeeze any more milk out, you will then start getting cream. That's when you get the cream that comes from the coconut. And you will continue doing that until such time that it's all squeezed out. We've finished here squeezing. Got most of it out. That's the last little bit. Okay. Alright. And this is our coconut milk. This is our coconut milk. See this? And you can see that really and truly it's richer. And I'll put the two of them together here. It's richer, creamier. It's richer, creamier. Alright. Then the one that doesn't have any fat. And I'm going to show you that just so you can see. So you can see the two of them. Even how it clings to the side of the jar. You're able to see even how it clings to the side of the jar, and what makes it cling is the fat in it. So let me show you this here. This is coconut milk with fat, and this is without. See? And therein lies the difference. They even look different. Can we get a nice close up on that? They even look different. For the cameraman, do they look different to you? I got a thumbs up. They look different, and they taste different too. Okay guys, so that's how you basically make coconut milk. Again, to use the shredded coconut, the coconut that hasn't been defatted or tampered in any way. You've got, it's organic, it's unsweetened, but this one has 40% of the fat removed. You need the fat for your milk. You need the fat for your milk. Otherwise it doesn't taste right, it doesn't come out right. A lot of the things that you want to do with it, you're not going to be able to do with it. So okay, so we've got our coconut milk. Actually, that tastes pretty good, and it's warm too. Tastes toasty. We've got our coconut milk. We've made our coconut milk, and what we have left is the residual that's in the cheesecloth, and of course the nut milk bag. So what do we do with that? Well, what we do with that is we make flour. Okay, we make flour.